bet you have 32 browser tabs open right now, 3 note-taking applications, and a 3-year plan that you have made changes every month for the last 3 years. Does this sound familiar? So, you're smart. Congratulations! You've read the books, passed the exams, maybe even graduated top of your class. You've got a brain sharp enough to cut glass. And yet, your bank account? Blunt. Your career? Muh. Your dreams? Still in the loading stage. Here's what no one talks about. Being smart might actually be the reason you're not successful. The bitter truth. You've been told your whole life that intelligence is your greatest asset. Gifted programs, advanced classes, everyone claiming you have so much potential. But being smart doesn't guarantee success. If it did, every straight A student would be a millionaire, and every professor would own a yacht. Spoiler alert, they don't. Have you ever wondered why people you know who aren't as smart as you gain the achievement that should have been yours? They're running businesses when you're still researching the appropriate company strategy. They're closing deals while you're still crafting the ideal email. They're living your dream while you're still planning how to start. Your intelligence has become a prison. And the worst part, you're the architect. You built it bar by bar. Every brilliant analysis that hindered action, every perfect plan that never got executed. But here's the move that stops the cycle. Your IQ isn't the problem, it's how you're utilizing it. In this video, I'm going to break down the 5 brutal reasons why smart people often fail to succeed, the right system you need. And more importantly, if you stick to the very end, you'll get a 30 days transformation plan on how you can turn that around before you end up as the smartest broke person at your high school reunion. Let's dive right into it. First, analysis paralysis. Smart people love thinking. You analyze, calculate, strategize, theorize, and think again. It's like your brain is a NASA supercomputer running 24/7. But here's the problem. You can solve complex problems in your brain, but you've been thinking about starting that project for 5 years. 5 freaking years. In that time, someone else constructed it, sold it, and retired. Welcome to the overthinking trap, where smart people go to watch their dreams die, one complexing at a time. Well, here's what occurs. Your brain perceives a simple assignment. Let's suppose content creation. Normal folks just start creating. They pick a platform in 10 minutes. Choose a name in 5. Publish their first video by lunch. But your brain? First, you need to investigate the finest platform. Compare 7 different alternatives. Rank them. Rate them. Read 50 reviews. Ask ChatGPT ridiculous questions for 5 hours. Join numerous Facebook groups to ask opinions. Analyze your competitors' data. Then watch a series of YouTube videos on optimizing for SEO before you actually make a content. 1 year later, you're an authority on content creation who's never posted a single content. You're not analyzing, you're hiding. Hiding behind study, behind complex thinking, behind the illusion of productivity. Stop lying to yourself. Overthinking feels productive because your brain is working hard, but it's like revving your engine in neutral. Lots of noise, zero movement, and deep down you know it. You know you're stuck. You know you're stalling. But you can't stop, because stopping would imply starting, and starting would mean risking, facing real life. Take Jeff Bezos, for example. When he started Amazon, it was just an online bookstore running from his garage. It wasn't polished, it wasn't perfect. But he didn't wait until the plan was flawless. He launched, tested, improved, and the rest is history. Second, waiting for permission. Smart people are trained to seek approval. School conditions us to raise our hands, ask for permission, and wait for a gold star. But in real life, nobody's handing out gold stars. Nobody's going to tap you on the shoulder and say, "Okay, champ, it's your turn to build your dream life." Think about Steve Jobs. He dropped out of college, broke rules, bent systems, and built Apple without asking for permission from anyone. Meanwhile, most of his classmates were still busy trying to look good on paper. Who do you think won in the long run? Third, the too smart to start syndrome. When you're smart, you see all the risks. You know 99 ways something could fail. And because you're so aware, you talk yourself out of even trying. Meanwhile, the less intellectual people, they jump in, figure it out on the fly, and end up miles ahead. You want to know something crazy? The more you know, the harder it gets to truly do anything. It's like being a chef who knows so many dishes that you starve because you can't pick what to make. It's called the knowledge curse, and you're drowning in it. See, when you know less, decisions are straightforward. Start a business? Just start selling things. Need customers? Tell folks what you're selling. It's almost embarrassingly straightforward. But when you're smart, you see every conceivable consequence, every optimization opportunity, thereby making things complex. Your intelligence makes simple decisions into doctrinal dissertation. You're not making better choices. You're making no choices, since every step you want to take branches into 1,000 additional pathways, and each of them divides again until you're paralyzed with potential. Remember when you didn't know any better? When you just tried stuff? When failure wasn't a complex probability calculation, but merely something that may happen? That ignorance was truly happiness, because ignorance takes action, while intelligence takes notes. You're not drowning since you can't swim. You're drowning because you're studying the water instead of just doing it. Practicing. You know too much about what may go wrong to ever do anything right. Funny enough, no matter how simple a thing is, it can always be made complex with too much information. Take, for instance, you're thirsty and you have a glass of water right in front of you. You start thinking, this glass might have some bacteria on it. The water might be contaminated. Let me get a microscope to check for germ, also colorimeters and photometers to check for water purity. Keep this act up and it'll keep getting complex. Eventually, you'll die of thirst someday. Richard Branson started Virgin Airlines without knowing anything about the airline industry. He literally called Boeing and asked if they had a plane he could lease. That's it. He didn't drown himself in research. He just figured it out as he went. Fourth, perfection and comfort addiction. Smart people are experts at rationalizing excuses. You tell yourself, I'll start when I have more time, more money, after I finish this course, after the economy stabilizes, after the next election. Newsflash. Conditions will never be perfect. Comfort is a liar. It tells you you're safe when in reality, you're stuck. Want to know the most costly word in the English language? Perfect. That single word has crushed more aspirations than failure ever could. That word has cost you more money, more chances, and more happiness than any mistake you've ever made. Because faults may be fixed, but perfect never arrives. See, perfectionism isn't what you think it is. It's not high standards. It's not attention to detail. It's not even about quality. It's fear wearing a productivity mask. Think about it. How many projects are languishing in your drafts folder right now? 90% complete, but never executed, because they're not quite ready. That blog you've been editing for 3 years. That business you've been planning since college. That course you've recorded and edited 5 times but never released. You tell yourself you're maintaining quality, but actually you're terrified that if it's not perfect, people might realize you're not as smart as they believe. Here's the truth that'll set you free. Perfect is the enemy of done. Done beats perfect every single time. While you're polishing, someone else is profiting. While you're perfecting, they're progressing. Because flawless is a prison you'll never escape from. But done opens doors. Here's a fun fact. Starbucks was founded during a recession. Netflix was born when Blockbuster was still king. Airbnb was launched in 2008 when the economy was tanking. The biggest brands you know today didn't wait for comfort or perfect. They thrived in discomfort. Fifth, talking instead of doing. Smart people are master talkers. You can debate, theorize, and outline 10 brilliant strategies for success. But here's the kicker. Talking doesn't pay bills. Doing does. You know what's funny in a sad way? You can fix everyone's problems but your own. You give wonderful advice you never take. Talk tactics you never apply. Because success isn't a lonely sport, and you've been playing alone your whole life. Smart people have this thing. We think networking is beneath us. Small talk seems terrible. Why talk the weather when we could argue philosophy? Why speak about athletics when we could solve world hunger? These surface conversations feel like such a waste of our valuable brain cells. But here's what you missed. That guy talking about sports, he's building trust. That woman revealing cooking itinerary, she's making connections. Those meaningless conversations, they're actually relationship foundations. They're not having inferior conversations. They're developing superior relationships. Your network is your net worth, not your IQ score. But you've been so preoccupied being the brightest person in the room that you forgot to connect with anybody in it. Your brilliance is nothing if nobody wants to work with you. Your ideas are meaningless if nobody helps you execute them. Connection beats perfection. Every single time. Meanwhile, that average guy you underestimated, he didn't wait for the perfect idea. He just acted on a simple one, and now he's quietly successful while you're still discussing success. Remember Mark Zuckerberg? Facebook wasn't even called Facebook at first. It was the Facebook, launched in a dorm room. It was buggy, ugly, basic. But he didn't spend years talking about building the perfect social network. He built it. Why being smart isn't enough. Being smart is like owning a sports car with no gas. Success isn't just intelligence. It's consistency, discipline, and knowing when to hit the brakes before you crash into your own overthinking. Funny thing is, the world doesn't reward who knows the most. It rewards who acts the most. And sometimes that's the guy who read one book and actually applied it. Let me blow your mind with some math. After an IQ of roughly 130, intelligence only forecasts 23% of your success. 23%. That implies 77% of what determines your success has nothing to do with how smart you are. Nothing to do with your test scores, your degrees, your capacity to solve riddles. Let it sink in. You know what predicts 58% of success? Emotional intelligence. EQ exceeds IQ by more than twofold. The capacity to read a room, to connect with people, to manage your emotions, to inspire others. These soft talents you've been ignoring, they're truly the hard money of success. But schools and gifted programs never taught you that, did they? They rewarded you for knowing the right answers, not for working effectively with people. For solving problems alone, not building relationships. For being right, not being pleasant. So now you're brilliant at theory, but lousy at the messy human things that truly drive success. You can compute complex equations, but can't have a yielding conversation. You can improve systems, but can't optimize relationships. Your IQ is writing checks that your EQ can't cash, and that's why less bright individuals are passing you by. They're not smarter, they're just better at the essential things that matter. Now that you see why you're smart and yet unsuccessful, what do? Introducing the system. Forget everything you believe you know regarding productivity. You don't need another app, another framework, or another optimization. You've got 10 productivity applications on your phone, and you're less productive than ever. You need a system that works with your overthinking brain, not against it. Here's the secret. Design your environment so success is the default. Make action simpler than analysis. Remove every obstacle between you and doing, because your brain will find any excuse to contemplate instead of perform. Example: you want to write. Don't investigate writing. Don't buy another course, don't join another forum. Open a document, type one sentence. Save it on your desktop. Tomorrow, add one more, that's it. That's the whole system. Ridiculously simple, stupidly basic, and it works. But your brain will scream this is too simple. We need a content calendar, an editing procedure, a 15-step structure. That's your intelligence attempting to sabotage you again. It craves complexity because complexity seems clever, but complication kills execution. Systems beat goals, habits beat motivation, and simplicity beats complicated every single time. Remove friction. Stop worshiping perfection. Reduce complexity. Stop asking, what if it fails? And start asking, what if it works? Shift your mindset from risk avoidance to risk management. You don't need all the answers before you start. You need the guts to find them along the way. The 30 Days Transformation Plan. Here's the hard truth. Being smart is not enough. If intelligence guaranteed success, every university professor would be a billionaire and every PhD holder would be on Forbes' list. But they're not. Because success doesn't reward the smartest, it rewards the bold. For the next 30 days, you're going to perform an experiment. Not plan one, not research one. Starting immediately, starting now, starting before you feel ready. Rule number 1, start before you're ready. If you wait until you feel prepared, you'll be waiting forever. Your brain will always find one more thing to investigate, one more skill to learn, one more excuse to procrastinate. Start stupid, finish successful. Pick one thing, not 5, not 3. Just one. And do it horribly every single day. Yes, severely. Give yourself license to suck. Permission to be amateur. Permission to be human. Document everything. Not to optimize, not to analyze. Just to illustrate to your overthinking brain that action beats intention. That moving beats thinking. In 30 days, you won't be flawless, but you'll be different. You'll be growing. You'll be doing. Your IQ gives you potential, but only action gives you power. Time to stop thinking and start becoming. The point is, are you smart enough to stop being so smart? Because the world doesn't need another genius with great ideas. It needs more people who take action. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "I'll start tomorrow," remember this. Tomorrow doesn't exist. Only today does. Being smart is good. Being successful, that's way better. And hey, to support these videos and connect with you more directly, don't forget to subscribe and press that like button. Also, let me know your opinions on what I just said. So start that podcast, launch that Etsy shop, post that idea. The world doesn't reward the silent genius, it rewards the brave doer.